Hey everybody, I am William John Raitt, and this is Design and Invest. Deep dive episode on a property that I finished. You see it in the background is the Edwin property up in the Hollywood Hills. Very desirable pocket. I believe it's called Laurel Hills, but it's a beautiful, beautiful pocket up here. Fantastic views. It's a relatively flat piece of land, which you don't get a lot of up here. Even the roads over here are not too crazy. It's just off of Mulholland Drive. If you take Laurel Canyon all the way up and turn right on Mulholland Drive, you take that until it whips around, and then this community up here is just like a little oasis. It's really beautiful. There's not a lot of homes up here. This one is sort of nestled in this cul-de-sac pocket underneath a hill. Literally the only neighbor is this guy right here, and he has 30-foot hedges and trees that separate your property and theirs, and so it's literally, you know, non-existent in the backyard. So very, very private. This property is on sale for $3.5 million. This is one of my better clients that I do a lot of design work for and staging. They are big apartment guys. They own thousands of doors of apartment buildings. This one is a rehab. They dabble with rehabs and things like that. But we're going to be discussing the finishes really, and my choices on what I did and why I did it. And let's go inside. Okay, so before we go inside and show you the finishes there, I would like to talk about the exterior finishes and things that we did on the outside of the house. We have this fantastic estate type sort of perched up property. The walls here, we smooth stuccoed everything. We kept the brick toppers on everything. I think it adds a cool sort of transitional feel where it's not too modern. It gives you a little element of different texture too. So I kept those and just painted those dark. We fabbed up this awesome pivot gate, nice and big. It has an electronic strike, and you know, this house is fully secured with cameras. I mean, we have, I think, like 12 different cameras angles and full smart home system. So security, surveillance, all that stuff up here is top notch, as it should be on a $3.54 million property. You have to really bring it on those aspects. We have this portocarpus wrapping the sides of the properties where the neighbors are, and anywhere that anybody can see in, or even, I mean, can't see in. You just kind of want to have that real estate feel. These things get huge, these portocarpus. They grow to be like, I don't know, 30, 40 feet if you let them. I mean, they grow really, really, I like them better than using ficus. A lot of people use ficus, but ficus are top rooters, so they really uproot sidewalks and walls and just really mess up everything. They grow very similarly as far as like just sort of canopying over and just, you know, walling spaces in and grow tall and quick as well. But these are a lighter footprint, and they're more sort of wispy in the leaves. They look a little sexier when they grow really big. So we lined the walls with those. The original house was a very Mediterranean style home. It had tile roof, and it had just really just, you know, thicker stucco, and just, it was an ugly feel, not what this property needed to be. So we cleaned up all the lines, squared things off. The railing had a big volutes on them, and just weird planters sort of built in. So we chose a very modern, just horizontal for the banisters and stuff, as well as the light fixtures throughout are very minimalistic. And I used a play on dark and light. I love using that. I did at the Wallgrove property, at the Clemens property, at a lot of properties I do at this sort of caliber. I like that play on white and dark elements. And I'll do something very similarly in the other property I'm working on right now in the Hollywood Hills. Sorry, underneath the Hollywood sign. But this property, we had to, all the pathways around the property, we had to top cast all of these. Nothing was really salvageable. They had the old Spanish tiles that just, when you take those off, what's left is just not clean and you can't reuse it. Even if you chip off the mortar, you have to top cast it and get a clean finish. So we poured about 2.5, 3 inches of concrete surrounding the entire property, pathways and such. For all the doors and windows for homes up here, you have to run them by the Hollywood Commission. There's like a board. It's kind of like an HPOZ. You have to run your finishes by them to get approval. So that took some time in the beginning. When I first got called into this job, it was down to the studs. I'll show you some pictures of what it was like when I got a hold of it. And so I ended up doing more of a project management and design role for the entirety of this project, because I believe they fired a contractor midway that just wasn't cutting the mustard. So I came in and helped them get the job completed, as well as doing all the finishes and all of the selections. I also did the staging on this home through my staging business. And so yeah, let's jump in and talk a little bit more on the inside. The outside's pretty straightforward: smooth stucco, dark on light. I used a lot of the existing fascia, and things like that. I thickened up the fascia actually around the entire property with a nice thick one, and boxed in the eaves, stuccoed those as well. But I'll show you more of that on the upstairs when we go to the deck. But let's jump inside. Quick side note on that portocarpus. If you look, the neighbors have that same exact portocarpus along their wall. That neighbor just recently renovated their property, so this can't be more than a year old. So they grow really quick, and they probably planted them about the same time. Sorry, not the same time, but about the same height as the ones that we planted here. And now look at how tall they get. They thicken out and just really it looks beautiful. Okay, so right when you come in, we have this nice big 5.5, 6 feet pivot door. I use these a lot of times. I get a really good deal on these. I pay about $3,500 to $4,500 depending on the size for these. It's a big wow when you first walk in. I love using them. I have a really good vendor for them, so why not? It's a nice big oversized handles. Also, right when you come in, you have all of the controls right here. So this one, you push one button, it turns on all the lights, it turns on the music, it sets the mood. You could program it to do anything. These Lutron switches are amazing. Also, we have the Brilliant system. This one can control all the lights, the climate, the music, the cameras, everything here. Also, there is a camera right here too, so you can see them. This is for the intercom at the front gate, and this is a Doorbird. This is a pretty cool product that controls all of that, and you can let people in. It's hooked up to an electric strike. So, I mean, you have your control system right when you walk in. The thermostat, a lot of people make a mistake and put the thermostats right by the front door. I don't think that's a great idea, because a lot of them have built-in temperature controls there that will take a wrong or incorrect read by the front door, especially with the front door like this that lets in light. It could get too hot and then it reads it wrong, and so I like to put them off to the side. This one right here is the new Echo Bee. This is really cool. I'm not using Nest anymore. Nest actually pulled their software away. Google now owns Nest, and so they even on old ones that you've owned for 5 years that you installed that you wanted to hook up to your other devices, Alexa and things like that. Now you can't. It doesn't read the same anymore. They disconnected that software. So this one is a great product that's very integratable with Alexa, with the Brilliant system, with Control 4, everything. I mean, it's a really good one. It's called Echo Bee. But here in the front, we worked in this awesome powder room. Very convenient. I went back and forth on whether to put the door on this side or that side. I did not want it off of the kitchen. Nobody wants to see or hear anything while they're in the kitchen like that. But it is convenient for guests. You just tell them, oh, it's by the front door. And so yeah, simple powder room. I used some really nice sort of rustic, sort of transitional looking tiles, kind of play on what once was here, as far as like a Spanish kind of feel, but then brought in modern with the champagne bronze finishes, Delta fixtures. I found a mirror that matched that same finish. We have a nice floating vanity, top mount sink with the same sort of champagne bronze filler. And it's a great space. All of the doors that I use on the interior of the property that go to somewhere, if it's a closet door, I don't use the one light glass, but if it's like to a bathroom or bedroom, I use one light. Upstairs, we have taller versions. I believe they're 7 or 8 feet. Downstairs, in selected locations, I kept them at this height just because I wanted them to be consistent height level. I don't want one to be way taller and smaller and all out of whack. And plus, I couldn't really fit in much more of this door because of the header size. I went as big as I could on this, but maximizing the space. But yeah, beautiful. The flooring throughout is an engineered oak flooring. Use a company locally called Naturally Aged Flooring. I've been using them for years. This is tried and true for me. I love these this product. It's very beachy, kind of has a nice rustic, but refined feel to it. So it's a great product. I've used this at least 10, 15 times at properties, and it's always a showstopper. And if you have a company and a flooring that you use it consistently. I mean, trust me, that's the biggest mistake you could do by trying to save a couple bucks and go elsewhere and try a product that's not tried and true for you, and then all of a sudden it's repetitive, or just, do you have big ugly knots. That's what I like about this, is not very knotty. You don't see a lot of the knots. It's very clean. And they actually waste a lot of material to get that look. I've talked to some reps over there. They discard a lot of the real knotty planks and such. And I mean, they probably, it's got to be at least 15, 20% waste on that. But great product. It's about $4.50 a square foot. I know you can get engineered floors for in the threes. I choose to pay a little bit more because I know the product. And, they'll deliver it next day. So I had a few different options on where to put the dining. I don't typically love to put dinings right when you walk in the house, but there is a very open floor plan concept here, so it's okay to do that from time to time. I did want the dining room to really define the space, so I built in these beautiful coffered sort of recessed ceiling around it to define this space. And I dropped a nice LED tape inside, so it has creates that mood lighting, as well as a really cool rustic sort of industrial fixture. All of the finish throughout here is all either black, matte black, or champagne bronze. Champagne bronze in the powder room and in the kitchen and laundry. Everywhere else it's matte black, as well as all the door hardware, hinges, and just overall finish, Schluter trims for the tile. But in this particular space, I really wanted to pronounce it and make it a nice focal. Also, originally this used to step down, very kind of 50s style thing, to the living space, and there was only just this one living space here originally, and it was rather large and encompassed this entire space. And so what I did was I raised the floors up, but it creates a domino effect. You also have to raise up all the electrical, all the light switches, everything has to be raised up in addition to that. But it worked out nicely. It's an even transition from the inside out to the pool side. And we have these beautiful black sliders. I didn't use Fleetwood or anything like that up here. It takes too long to get that passed through the Mulholland Commission and Hollywood Hills sort of board and stuff. So this was, and also I wasn't involved that early. They had already put the window order in, but I didn't fight them on it. I'm like, these are good windows. I think they're La Cantina or Milgard or something. But yeah, so we raised the floors so you have a nice even transition, and come check out this feature. Over here, this feature I'd like to do, I did this at the Clemens property that I flipped in Encino, and whenever you have a really large open sort of space like this for a living, it's not 100% needed. This is a decent sized living room, so I said, you know what, let's section it. So I walled this off, and then I put in 2 double barn doors that open up to an awesome office. You know what? This wasn't here before. So now you have a little bonus space. It's not technically a bedroom, but I mean, you have 5 bedrooms in this house. So, you know, having this extra space as an office is a great value add for a property like this. And if I were to stage this, I mean, I would have just put like a baby grand in the corner or something like that. It's not like really, it's too big of a living space, so might as well. It transitions really nicely from the stairs sort of over. I love doing this too, because if you keep it open, you know, you could use this for whatever. You could use this as a little flex room, you know, a little den for your kids or something. But there's a lot of spaces and pockets like that in this house. This served best for this purpose. And it turned out great. We also put all the smart home equipment over here. Check this out. So underneath the stairs, I utilized this space to put the brain of the home. You could also put a safe back here if you want. It's a great place for it. This has a key and lock on its own, and so does this. There's a UPS backup drive, so that way if anybody cuts the power up here, they still have power running to this, so the cameras are still running on the hard drive, and it's backed up on the cloud. So, I mean, this is really a secure home that has a lot of really cool features. I think we have 6 Sonos zones for surround sound and speakers throughout, and again, a dozen or so cameras, and I mean, it's a pretty awesome system. All of the TVs are also wired for Cat 6, as well as nightstands and things like that, so you could plug in straight from those. Multiple spots in each bedroom, really, for TV options as well. I like doing that. Even if someone just has to hang a painting over an outlet in a Cat 6 box, it's better than not having that option at all. Okay, so here is the formal living room, the space that I sectioned off for it. The original fireplace was a lot lower stance, not as sexy. So I carried the tile all the way to the ceiling. Again, I used the matte black Schluter trims on the edges. We used a porcelanosa tile, nice, I think it's 36 inch by 12 inch tile. They seam together very, very nicely. We used a nice white quartz for the hearth. We put some glass in there, linear diffuser for the gas line for the fireplace. The key is right here, very easy to access. We trimmed it off with some nice quarter round to cover any kind of gaps or imperfections at the bottom. And it turned out very beautiful. And when it's lit up, I'll show you a video, it looks amazing. Okay, so in this space, the usage of the space was completely different originally. There wasn't a den, it wasn't this sort of feel. I wanted to give a sort of family room off of the kitchen rather than a dining. I think it's much more practical for living situations. So I created this great little space for a den and TV room. The kitchen, completely reconfigured it. It's amazing. We're getting tons and tons of compliments on this. Property is now already on the market, getting a lot of attention. I actually have to cut out in a little bit. We have a private showing, the realtors do, I think the potential buyers flew in from Jamaica or something to come check it out. So hopefully they're serious and they get an offer and it moves quickly. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful home, and I think it should move quickly. But all of the AC vents throughout, we use linear diffusers. You see some of the speakers here. Each room has its own zone, all of the lights are a nice soft white. I like using soft white rather than cool white. Rather than the bright white. Kind of gives off that blue hue that I don't really like. I like the softer, more transitional too. This home is a very transitional design. Not too modern, not too traditional. It's like right in between, and like designing to that. So let's talk about the kitchen. This is a beautiful kitchen, probably one of the best I've designed to date. I really like the flow of it, and I put in some nice cool features that I want to show you too. Okay, Okay, here we are in the kitchen. Beautiful, beautiful Carrara marble that I use. Nice, big, oversized island. It's about 8 feet, or I think it's a little bigger than 8 feet. I used a champagne bronze finish in it here in the kitchen. Even all the Schluter trim is that same sort of brass feel and vibe. The pendant lights, these are just Amazon. I think they're like 80 bucks each or something, but they really look cool, and you can play with them too and get different shapes and formations out of them. Very beautiful. But with the island and this marble, I wanted to get a nice thick edge. So we used a nice 3.5 inch mitered edge, all custom done. We waterfalled the edges. And on the finish of the cabinets, this is the first time using this product, but it's been an absolute hit. Everybody loves it. We used a nice kind of linen textured veneer to it, and all of the finish on the inside is a nice birch finish. Very classy cabinets. Again, the sort of brass handles, nice oversized ones, pulls for the door or for the drawers. I think these are about like 10, 12 inches. And then the ones here are about like 7 inches for all of the doors. The appliances, we use Gen Air. This is a nice 48 inch 6 burner with a griddle. And a little happy surprise on these, this model now comes with a little brass finish around the sort of bezel right here on the gas lines. And the nice industrial big range hood, also Gen Air. Cool feature about this too, I have the same set at my house. It has this awesome sort of, like you would see in like a Chinese restaurant or something where they have some like ducks hanging there. It heats your food. So if you keep some food here on the burners, you can turn this on and it gives a little kind of heat lamp for that food. Cool little feature. Appliances are amazing. Spice rack right here on the side. Lazy Susan in the corner. Very, very functional. If you come over here, I will show you the island features. A lot of people call their kitchens chef's kitchens. They usually are not. This could very well be an amazing chef kitchen. We have here a nice prep sink with a built-in cutting board. And and a garbage disposal button right there. Also champagne bronze finish. We have outlets right here in the front of it, so you could put blenders or what have you. We have a trash and recycling drawer. We have, super, super functional. This is a microwave drawer in the island. I have the same one in my house. I love it. Very, very practical for just preparing. You're right here next to the sink. The triangle is in full effect right here. The fridge is an amazing 42-inch Gen Air fridge. Check out that finish. This is beautiful. And over here, we have a nice deep dish sink, as well as the Delta finishes. This actually, they just launched a new product. I could get the same exact one now that it's actually hooked up to the smart home. So you could put a little bucket underneath it and say, fill 1 liter, or Alexa, fill 1 liter, and it'll fill 1 liter. I didn't get that one. It's not necessary for this house. I mean, it would be necessary, but it wasn't available when I was picking all the finishes. But it's really cool. I might start using them for properties. But we carried the same on this side, the same 3.5 inch. Mitered edge. Really tricky when it comes to designing these. You can't just sort of smack these on any countertop and still achieve the same height. You'd have to really build up the countertops with like 3 pieces of plywood in order to achieve this. We barely have the clearance for our dishwasher. Look at that. Barely, okay? Now I've done this several times, and so I know what to do, and I'm my cabinet maker. You have to really be on the same page. They have to build the cabinets custom to where they start all the drawers and all the doors lower, and then they build that up, not with plywood or adding on top. They actually build in all the cabinets, the drawers and doors lower to accommodate that, but still making sure that that appliance is clear. But it's a balancing act, but when achieved, it comes out amazingly. I like using glass on the left and right side of sinks. It adds a nice area where you could put some finishes, and not finishes, but some accessories and such inside of those cabinets. And like I said, I finished off all the edges with a nice brash, satin brass Schluter trim. We used a Carrara marble herringbone tile. with a nice white grout. All of the face plates throughout the property, we use the screwless face plates, so that way it's just super clean. And yeah, I mean, there's tons of other cool features. Over here, adjacent to the kitchen, we have this sort of pantry closet, okay? And so what I did here is I really tricked this out to max efficiency. We don't have a walk-in pantry here. It's kind of one of those things that I wish we would, because it is a $3.5 million house, but this gives you tons of usage out of this. Cool feature I've been doing a lot too is in the pantries, I'm working in electrical and full length shelving on at least one slot. So that way you could hang a vacuum, charge it. A lot of people have other items like Roombas and things that they need to charge, but out of the way. And so this is a great spot for that and for sort of just stowing stuff away, you know, Swiffers and, you know, so on and so forth. This here is the sort of service entrance. There's a bedroom back here, there's the laundry, there's the garage, there's, you know, everything here that's for service and sort of section off. You could put a door here, but it's cleaner without. So if you're having guests over, you have a maid or something preparing stuff or just out of the way. This is a great little feature. Always goes overlooked. A lot of people don't really do this naturally. It would be cool to just extend this whole thing as a pantry, but this is a great place when you come home, you open the door to your car, you come here, drop your keys, you know, turn on your lights, bing, bing, bing. These are also controlled, so it, you know, whole house on, whole house off. You could program them, and then you could also charge your phone right here and just sort of get into family mode. So this is the service area that I was talking about. It's a very narrow space I was working with for the laundry, but I think I used it the most effective way, efficiently as possible. So you have your front load washer and dryer. I put a nice quartz top on right on top of it so you can fold. We have a folding station in the back, as well as a nice hanging rod where as you're hanging, you could, you know, as you're folding your laundry, you can hang up some stuff, you know, space for baskets, uppers to put away bleach bottles and such. And I also even snuck in some lowers in the back and a little lazy Susan so you can kind of store more stuff in those. This is the bathroom that the sort of service area will use. It also is the bathroom you would use for the outside pool. Kind of jam in here, use the bathroom, shower, and head back out to the pool. You know, I used a really cool kind of rustic grotto-looking tile here. And again, trimmed it off with a nice black Schluter trim, white quartz countertops, and we put a nice wood veneer cabinets here. I left some space at the bottom so where you can roll towels and just shove those in there for people, guests using the pool. And you know, full-length glass, you know, industrial style light fixture. I brought in a little bit of brass in there as well to kind of phase out the brass as you're entering other portions of the house, but also staying in line with the industrial vibe that we have going on here. Nice big apron tub. I did a Euro splash panel. I don't like using full-length glass anymore at these kind of showers. You could always add one later if you prefer to have a door, but this will cover any sort of splash that comes in. Built-in niche. Delta finishes. I think those are Brizo for the shower head and the tub filler. Back here would be, I guess, the maid's room or a guest room downstairs. It's on the smaller side, but very efficient, and it flows into the backyard. You have a slider right there, and it's great for, you know, overnight guest or for the maid. Okay, so here we are in the garage. Nice big garage. It's a 3-car garage. We did a nice epoxy finish on the floors, just coated everything super clean white. We put a couple you know, lights down the middle. We did side motors on the garage doors We chose a very simple flat panel garage door, more on the modern side, very minimalistic stance. I made sure that the motors weren't in the middle, taking up all this space, but I did wire for it, so if they wanted to put those later, they could put the center motors. I don't see a purpose for it. These new side motors are awesome. They take a little more engineering and sort of planning on getting an electrical over there and making sure you have enough space over there, furring out the wall, doing whatever's necessary for that. But you have a single car garage door here and a double here. If you're a car person, there's tons of space in here. Even for a very long car, you could put cabinets along the back wall. I put outlets along the entire sort of counter height level. So if you wanted to put counters and uppers and stuff, you can accomplish that and you won't have to come back and redo electrical. Also worked in a charging station, charge point charging station for those who have electric vehicles. I queued it up as if you have a Tesla. I have a Tesla, and I know that it's on the back left of the car, so it's queued up. So if you pull in straight, charge boom straight away. Other vehicles, they're in the front or what have you, you'd have to back them in, but very conveniently located over there. And you know, this is a great space. I love this garage. I would definitely put in a nice workstation over here and be in here spending a lot of time, maybe even a pool table. All right, let's cruise upstairs so I can show you the finishes there. So as you get to the top of the stairs, there's this beautiful big landing here that I thought would be perfect to just really accentuate and create the space. Really, the space I painted here was for your kids. They come up here, do their homework, mom watches them, reads a book, maybe they hang out here, play some video games with their friends. This could be sort of, and also it's lit up with Cat 6 and all that, so if they did choose to put a TV here, cool. Also, there is a brilliant system up here, controls, everything, the thermostats, all that stuff is also in this sort of region. But look at this. This is the money shot right here. Nice, huge 8-foot, I believe it's 8 or 9 feet picture window overlooking the San Fernando Valley. Beautiful views. I like to lead your eyes with everything when I'm designing stuff. So as you come up the stairs, you see this beautiful cascading pendant chandelier, and it draws your eyes up. And then as you're coming around, bam! I mean, how can you miss this anyways when you walk up the stairs? Absolutely gorgeous. Great space to just sort of come get away, hang out, and it sort of transitions into the other spaces upstairs. So as you make a left, right upstairs, you have this room here. This is your first of 2 masters. Normally I would just call it a junior suite, but it's so much more than just a junior suite. I'll show you. It's beautiful, nice big vaulted ceilings. The space before did not look like this. It was kind of like just ugly and bleh. And so I turned this into a really magical experience. Walk in, huge bed wall. I positioned those 2 windows to where a nice oversized king bed, Cal King or Eastern King, fits right in between nicely. The nightstands drop just off to the sides of each window. You have a beautiful French door that leads out to this awesome wraparound balcony, so you have the privacy there and sort of access to the views. Again, TV wall is hooked up with Cat 6. So a beautiful little sitting area over here. Great place to put a TV and just kind of get away, or even just kind of create a little office nook, really. This would be great. If this were my suite, I would want to do a little office nook over here so I can get some work done and yeah, from home. But come over here, check out the master closet. Beautiful space. Nice custom everything. We did wood veneer and did all the backing on it as well, so you don't see the drywall behind it. It's all some drawers. I mean, this is a very good size master closet. I like putting robe hooks and stuff too. Just it's the little things, you know. You come here, you put your robe, super convenient. And here is the bathroom. Fantastic big double vanity. You have a skylight that's just to die for, nice and big. Your toilet corral is just sort of nestled away over here. You could actually enclose this if you wanted to, but I kept it open for flow because you don't want to walk into like a real tight space. Beautiful full-length glass. I put a nice lowered makeup area here too. And you know, again, matte black finishes throughout, all the faucets, everything. This bathroom I used more of an arch finish. So all of the faucets have a bit of an arch. The light fixtures have a bit of an arch and a kind of curve to them. The beautiful soaking tub here, stand-up shower. This one has a linear drain in it. Nice three-way diverter. You have the rain oversized shower head in the middle. You have the handheld, as well as this porcelanosa tile here too. Beautiful. It's probably like 15 bucks a square foot, but it's beautiful tile. It has this sort of chevron design to it, and in a nice texture too. So it brings in some elements of sort of roughness and refinedness. And nice 24 by 24 inch tiles on the floors, oversized. The toilet in this bathroom, since this isn't the main master, I didn't want to spend $3,000 on a toilet Toto, but I did wire for it. So it's really important because they may require that. A lot of people at this caliber home put those in all the bathrooms, so I like to wire those, pre-wire them ready for them. Nice big oversized tub filler in the corner with also a handheld shower. And it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous space. And if this were in any other home, this would be the master, you know, but here it's just the secondary master. So this is Jack's room. Jill's room's next door, and they have a bathroom, a Jack and Jill right in between. And it's just a good sized, cute room, also with access to the deck in the backyard. And one light doors, all the same finishes that you would see elsewhere. I also did custom closets in here. Normally people don't do custom closets in little smaller bedrooms, but I thought it would be important to do it. So I did a double hanging one here. You know, people usually just do shelf and pull. A little extra goes a long way, especially for a home this caliber. And the bathroom in between is a very nice bathroom. This needed to be completely reconfigured. It was a very odd space before. Now it's still a bit of an odd space, but very functional. The toilet is not in your face. I was able to sneak in a double vanity, it sort of wraps around the toilets, like I said, out of the way, nestled in the back. I had to reconfigure and steal some space from the closet in order to accomplish that, but it worked out very nicely. The tiles here, again, I like elements. I like dealing with textures and things like that, so we chose this really nice, just sort of freckly looking tile, raised. This one I did a full enclosure. Again, a nice big apron tub. The Delta finishes, and a nice wide opening here, so if you're giving your kid a bath in here, it's not awkward for you. It feels really nice. Again, little things. I like putting the towel sort of a ring right next to, or a little holder right next to when you get out of the shower. You put your towel here. You also have towel holders over there. We worked the, I try not to do this whenever possible, put outlets and switches on the over the vanity, but in this situation, it was really the best placement for it, unfortunately. So I worked in the mirror, so it sort of encompasses that, it flows in. 2 light fixtures, worked in a small set of drawers in between, and you know, it plays really nicely. White quartz. It's a beautiful bathroom to be shared by these 2 bedrooms. Now this one goes into Jill's room. Again, a beautiful space here. We did the custom solution for closets here. This one we worked in some shoe racks. Most likely, I like to paint the pictures for people. So this one I'm painting more as Jill and more feminine. The other one has a guitar and steamer trunk and blues. This has more, you know, greens and you know, it's a space that I like to tell stories when I stage properties. And this one I'm painting this as her bedroom. This this is the main master. Beautiful, beautiful piece of work. This one I completely reconfigured. The closet was different. Everything was completely different. I'll try to show you some befores. It's hard to really see the space, even in the before photos, and see the space now and feel what I did, but I'll walk you through the best I can. So let's start off. Come into the suite. To the right is the walk-in closet that leads through to the bathroom. But first let's start in here with the master bedroom. So it's a great big space, nice big bed wall. I went back and forth with the window placements, trying to get them right. I was initially going to do like I did in the other bedroom, where I had 2 windows, one to either side of the bed. It wasn't balancing right, because if you notice, the ridge of this wall doesn't line up with it's not fully symmetrical with the space. So it was like a domino effect. Once you put those windows in place, you realize, oh wait, that ridge doesn't fall directly to the center. And the bed had to be placed in the center to balance the space and to make it look right. Drop the chandelier off of the center of the main beam, and but it came out fantastic. I whitewashed all of the planks down the sides. And then we darkened up all of the ribs and the beams, and it's such a showcase. I have this awesome bed I bought a few years back that I love using in spaces like this. It's super oversized and in a boss masculine bed. Cool feature right here, you push this one is on and this is off. Check out this. It operates the curtains, the blinds. So those are all hooked up on the smart home as well. So from your cell phone, you can set these up. And then look at this beautiful, I believe it's a 9 or 10 foot picture window. Look at that view. That view is fantastic. This is the show-stopping view. Definitely the main master. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We didn't want to put the blinds, they're quite expensive, in the roller shades in all of the bedrooms. These are Lutron brand, but we did think that this one was worthy of this sort of showcase. The buyer will likely want this throughout the house, but we'll leave that up to them. We just wanted to paint that picture in one room and also show the grand reveal of this beautiful view by opening them. Let's go check out the master bath. All right, so let's go into the closet real quick and check it out. Again, picture window right above here. I planned this out to where you can, put your, you can charge your phone if you have like some watches or whatever you want to plug in right here. It's a great little station. Also, more of the modern living nowadays is to have your dresser sort of built into the closet, so you don't have to have a traditional sad looking big dresser. So we have this built in, some nice storage here for purses, shoes, whatever. Double rack here. We did a liner on the top of the whole thing, a shelf, so that way you could utilize the entire top. Double hangers here, single hanger here, another one back here. It's a great space, and then it captures the views. If you have views like this, you better capture them at all fronts. Bedroom, bathroom, wherever you can. Again, completely unobstructed. Nobody can see you over here, so you can walk around naked. This is more than chest height for, I'm 6 foot tall, and nobody would ever see anything. I could barely even see houses down there. It's a fantastic view. Why not showcase it? Here we have a nice big barn door that leads into the master bath. And this is a proper master bath too. We have another barn door, and I like using barn doors and pocket doors are kind of old school. Barn doors are really nice because it saves space. You don't have a door swinging this way, door swinging that way, and they're just fun. So here's the nice the toilet room. We did use a Toto G400, $2,500 toilet with all the bells and whistles. We also did a built-in linen right here on the side, and on the top of the barn door, I put a nice big fixed panel. I had to really plan this out, so it worked out well, and it worked out for the bringing in some nice natural light up here, because you don't want to be in a closet while you're doing your business. You want to have some sort of essence of the outside world going on. Window would be preferable, but you're on the inside of this space, so that didn't really work out. But over here, again, carried 24 by 24 inch tiles, nice big oversized sort of concrete masculine look. We used the gray quartz for the threshold curb. Nice oversized subway tiles, the glass tiles, but we chose to stack them, more of a modern approach to putting them in than to sort of subway stagger them. It's beautiful. We did a nice full length niche with some glass shelves with a sort of nice striking, contrasting color. Big linear drain. Again, we used a three-way diverter, nice big shower heads, huge overhead rain shower head, handhelds. I mean, this has all the bells and whistles. It's full-length glass to the ceiling, so if you wanted to convert this to a steam shower, quite easy to do. We could have done that, but I didn't feel it was necessary. I think that the views and all the other items here showcasing were sufficient. Floating tub over here, we continued that same subway glass tile over here. Again, view, bam, right here. Over here, we did an L-shape his and her vanities with full-length glass, very minimalistic light fixtures here. Let me turn these on so you can check them out. And we used top mount sinks with the fillers as well. Came out quite beautiful. And then these are floating vanities as well. So it's about 10 inches off the ground. I mean, all the bells and whistles, we took advantage of every square inch in this bathroom and used it wisely and sexy. And again, a nice huge skylight, speakers in here. I mean, it has all the bells and whistles. It's a beautiful, beautiful space that I'm sure anybody would be happy with. Let's go outside so I can show you this beautiful wraparound balcony. And it's one of the key features of this home. Absolutely gorgeous. So here we are on the outside wraparound balcony, just off of the secondary master. This is where it starts on one end of the house, and it literally wraps around the entire side of the other house. So let's go check it out. We have speakers all around here. We boxed in all of the eaves. I mean, look at this view. This is as good as it gets. So this is on the other side of the house, on the inside, up against the hill. This is your backyard. The stairs lead down to your backyard. This is the main master over here. So you have this own sort of little section here, speakers as well. And it leads all the way around to the other Jack and Jill bedrooms, and a nice little cove at the end as well. But let's go check out the backyard. Okay, so we're down at the bottom in the backyard. Beautiful space. There's plenty of yard. There's, this wonderful gray DG that we sort of wrapped around and created this other element. Like I said, playing with the elements is great. You have more of a refined concrete here. You have more of a rustic sort of gravel DG there. Pathway leading around, grass. And then over here, we staged a little fire pit area, and nice big coping. We, like I said, did all the surrounds of the property. We re-poured top cast concrete. This is a beautiful overhang sort of patio that holds up the wraparound balcony just outside of the kitchen. And we did a tongue and groove cladding for the wood and stained that, again, playing with the elements. We have speakers built into here, recessed. And also over here, we have this awesome sort of pass-through window to the kitchen, right at kitchen counter height. I battled back and forth with putting like a bar here, decided against it. Just a pass-through window is fine. I didn't want to sort of impede on this space too much, but it is a cool feature. You could pass through items and say, hey, Mom, give me a lemonade, or something. But great space here. The pool, we plastered the pool. We didn't really reconfigure the entire space, just replastered it and enlarged the size of the dam for the jacuzzi. It was more of like a little tiny foot spa before, so we enlarged that and just stuck with the back wall. Nice light blue tile, almost the color of water. We used new LED lights inside and added an additional one. Also hooked up to the smart home system. The full the system itself, all the pumps and everything is also hooked up to that system, so you can operate that from your smart home. Very cool feature. All of the lights, the sconces around the entire property, we have programmed on the Lutron to come on when the night comes. So probably like 6 o'clock today, they'll all come on. You can program those however which way you want, but we thought keeping them all as a loop was a cool idea. And also we have landscape lights that come up and accent all of the drought tolerant landscaping that we have throughout. Cool feature over here is we put in this awesome barbecue. This was actually I think it was like $2,000 for this built-in, but it fits perfect. It's actually just sort of parked it in place, put the locks on, painted it the same color as the stucco, and it looks like it's a built-in feature. Made sure that the gas is here. Pool equipment is in the corral back here, out of the way. And over here, this wasn't a weird, awkward storage before, kind of like a little weird garage, but I opened up two sides of it and created a cabana. So it's, you know, nice beachy, sort of get out of the elements and hang out, grab a margarita. If you don't want full exposure to the sun, you don't have to. You can come over here and just kick it. We made sure that we have electrical and outlets and stuff, so if you want to put some TVs or what have you. Also a nice fan back here. And over here, we have great space for their pool loungers. And it's just an awesome, awesome entertainer's house. The person I see buying this house is probably a studio exec, somebody who wants and respects privacy. Maybe they have a following or fans, somebody who wants to just be out of the way of the public eye, but accessible to the city. They can easily get to the west side, Mulholland Drive, kick down that way, go to the valley, down that way. This is nestled in a nice flat spot. You don't really get flat land like that up here in the hills. Usually you get just tons of just pylons and hillside homes and stuff that's just a pain in the butt. One lane, you know, sized streets that are actually 2 lanes that you have to fight to pass people, and you get a lot of jerks up here ripping through the streets. Over here, very, very family friendly, a great place. I think the 2 houses away, the guy, the CEO of Twitter, either bought or just sold the property right there. I think he bought the property. It's a $5 million house, beautiful. So your neighbors are all, you know, probably studio execs and people like that too. I mean, to afford a home like this, $4 million, you got to have some coin, and with that coin, you usually demands elements that this house checks those boxes: privacy, security. You know, flat land. I mean, this is the perfect family house. I would love to live in a home like this. My wife's not big on it. She has different sort of taste, but it's a beautiful house. I think we've seen it all. I want to leave you here with a video of the finish before and afters, so you can kind of take all those in. And remember, guys, design, invest, and repeat.